all the members of the press, we greet you all. The Council of Evangelical Churches of South Sudan, we have come together. Though some of us are not here today because of the engagement of their jobs and so many of them, but they are all with us in this program. We, the Council of Evangelical Churches of South Sudan today, we are here to deliver our statement as a council that is in South Sudan. We are calling for an angel dialogue, peace, and national reconciliation. The Council of Evangelical Churches of South Sudan is deeply concerned about escalating political crisis and violence across the nation, particularly in Upper Nile, Central Equatoria, Western Equatoria, Warab, and Eastern Equatoria states. In this challenging time, we call on the leaders and the stakeholders to prioritize dialogue, peace, and the well-being of all South Sudanese. We extend our deepest condolences to the family and community of the late Lieutenant General David Majordak and all his colleagues and civilians who tragically lost their lives in Nasser. We also commend the family of the late general for their courage and call for unity and reconciliation, which reminds us that peace is a shared responsibility of all South Sudanese. We urge our President Salva Kiir Mayardit and the first Vice President Riek Machar to engage in direct dialogue as a confidence-building measure and to find peaceful solution to the current challenges. We appreciate the EU mission and the tracker countries for their willingness to facilitate the engagement and to encourage the leaders to accept this offer or to consider our homegrown solution from the church in the interest of national stability. We call for an immediate de-escalation of tension, including the cessation of hostilities and aerial bombardment in affected areas. We appeal to all parties to ensure protection of civilians and adherence to the international humanitarian law. We strongly condemn hate speech and inflammatory statements on the social media platforms that fuel division and undermine national unity. In this regard, we urge all leaders, communities, and citizens to foster a culture of respect and collective and constructive dialogue. Intercommunal violence remain a pressing concern, including cattle raidings in Warab states, Jungle states, and clashes between farmers and herders in Eastern and Central Equatoria. We call for proactive measures to address this conflict through local initiatives, the enforcement of the rule of law, and engagement with communities to foster peaceful coexistence. We call for an impartial investigation into the root causes of these conflicts. If anyone be found guilty, should be taken to court for justice. We call upon the government of South Sudan to expedite the process of disarming civilians who are armed in all the 10 states and the 3 administrative areas of South Sudan. Furthermore, we call on the government to take concrete steps to stabilize the economy through responsible policies and policies that prioritize the people's well-being as economic crises continue to place immense hardship on our citizens. We also express our concern about the presence of foreign forces in South Sudan and encourage the resolution of security concern through diplomatic engagement, ensuring that national sovereignty and stability are upheld. In light of the current situation, we urge the East African community, the IGAD and the African Union to actively engage in effort to de-escalate tension and support South Sudan in finding sustainable solution. Regional stability is an interconnected and collective action is essential in preserving peace and security. We, the Council of Evangelical Churches of South Sudan, reaffirm our prayers and commitment to peace and reconciliation, and we stand ready to support all efforts that foster unity and healing. We call on South Sudanese leaders and citizens alike to work together toward a peaceful and prosperous South Sudan. May God bless South Sudan. Thank you very much. This is our statement as a council. Any question?
Any question? Yes, with your statement that you did mention, where do you think this problem has stemmed from, and how soon do you think this dialogue that you're calling for, the escalation of the tension, should be? How soon should it be, and who should mediate it?
As you've heard very well in our statement, we are calling upon the government to launch an investigation to this matter and see the root causes of this problem. And as we are talking right now, we want this solution to take place even like yesterday, if there is any way of that. Thank you.
And who should mediate? Who should mediate the dialogue?
As you have heard, we have called upon other bodies like IGAD, African Union, and also South Sudanese. And we, the church, we are available to help in mediation.
Because I work for Catholic Regional Court. The two parties always denies things that happens in the country. As a church, what would you say to them to refrain from such denials of things that they do always?
What I can say, and maybe not me alone, and I want my colleagues also to answer some questions that may arise here. But one thing I want you to know is that if you deny today, tomorrow you'll accept, and the truth will come out.
Yes, I'm Jennifer James from the Dawn newspaper. Apart from the church appealing, condemning, and calling, what role will church play to make sure that the conflict in the country comes to an end?
You know, one thing I want us to understand as the people of South Sudan, none of us chose to be a South Sudanese. We did not choose to be born in South Sudan or to be raised or to be here. But we all found ourselves here. And since we all here, we are today as church leaders. We have a responsibility. If these people who are in the leadership are members of our churches, then it is upon the church to talk to their member or to their members individually so that they are able to accept the truth and to work for the peace of this country.
But have you tried to bring President and the Vice President together in the fighting erupting in Assad?
It is our call right now upon them to allow us to mediate and to come and talk to them. Thank you very much.
I think we can take a photo. Yeah. Now you can have a coffee.